The first lesson, Sanskritena Vrittavidya, Bhashabhyas. So the first question is Madhyamabhashaya Sasandarbham Spashtikururta. The first sentence given is Sanskritabhashayaः prasarah ityapi etasam patrikanam uddishtam. Now this question is asked for 5 marks and you have to write answer in detail. To start with, we have to recognize from which lesson this sentence is given. So here, because of it is Bhashabhyas, the sentence given is from the same lesson. But then, while writing the answer, we have to give reference of the sentence. That is why, firstly, we will write the reference. This sentence, the given sentence, is taken from the lesson Sanskritena Vrittavidya. In this lesson, the information about Sanskrit journalism is provided. So this is the reference, and because this lesson is edited by the editors of our textbook, the name of author is not given. But when a lesson is an extract of a book, an ancient book, then we have to refer the name of the original book and the name of the author of the book in the reference. So that is important. So here, firstly, we will write the reference. It is for 1 mark. Second, we want to write the translation, that is the Saralartha of the sentence. So we'll write the second point, Saralartha. The objective of these magazines was to spread Sanskrit language. Now this is the Saralartha, the translation of the sentence. Now third point. First point was reference. It will give 1 mark. Second, translation or Saralartha, it is for 1 mark. And now explanation of the sentence, it is for 2 marks. Now we have to write the explanation of the sentence according to the meaning of the sentence. Now we will discuss the explanation. Journalism is important factor of modern society because we want to know the news from all the sectors like political field, economic field, social field, sports and arts. We want to know what is happening worldwide, and that is why some system to broadcast, to spread news is essential, and it is called as patrakarita, that is journalism. In all other languages, journalism is well developed, but in Sanskrit language also, journalism is well developed, and how it is well developed, that is discussed in this lesson. Because Sanskrit is not used as language of medium of instruction nowadays, people think that Sanskrit language is an ancient language and it is not useful in modern times. But this is not true. Sanskrit language is also used in modern times, and the very good example of it is journalism. As Sanskrit is accepted as modern language in our constitution, Sanskrit is also reflected in the society in social media and audio, visual and audiovisual, all types of media. Now we can discuss about the history of Sanskrit journalism, where Kashi Vidya Sudhanidhi was the first magazine published in Sanskrit. Sanskrit was not a popular language because of British policy. They closed all Sanskrit Pathshalas, and so Sanskrit was removed from educational and social fields. Therefore, Sanskrit was not available regularly for daily use, and hence it was difficult to publish magazine in Sanskrit. But then it was started in Kashi, and after that all the types of magazines were published in Sanskrit gradually. Even today, the daily newspaper like Sudharma and Vishwasya Vrittantaha are published. The magazines like Chandamama were attractive and famous among the children and the grown-ups. The monthly magazines like Sambhashan Sandesh, the annual magazines like Samarpanam are published even today. So this is the first paragraph where we would write all this description. In the second paragraph, we would come to the conclusion why these magazines were published when the number of readers were very less. So these magazines were not published to earn money only. So the motto, objective of these magazines, publication of these magazines, was not only to earn money or to earn fame. These magazines wanted to protect Sanskrit language. They wanted Sanskrit language to be present and to be famous in modern society. They wanted more and more people to read and learn and to know Sanskrit language. So they wanted to show that Sanskrit language is easy to understand, it is attractive, it is sweet language, and therefore to spread Sanskrit language was their motto. And in this way, people were attracted towards Sanskrit magazines, and because they saw that Sanskrit magazines, daily newspapers are present and they are attractive, people wanted to know Sanskrit language, they wanted to learn Sanskrit language, and in this way, these magazines, that is the journalism in Sanskrit, achieved the goal of spread of Sanskrit language. So this is how we explain the sentence, the given sentence. So this is the explanation in which we have to write two paragraphs. Now after that, for 2 marks, and then after that we have to write the essence or the speciality or something special that we understood because of the given sentence in the lesson. So what would we write in the gist? We would write that Sanskrit language was in practice in ancient India, and so the Constitution of India also accepted Sanskrit language, and hence to know our culture and our rich heritage, all should know Sanskrit language. All Indians should know Sanskrit language. And for this purpose, for this motto, Sanskrit journalism is making so many efforts. For that purpose, the magazines are useful for the spread of Sanskrit language. So this is the gist of the essence of the whole description. So this is how, and it is for 1 mark. And so this is how we are going to write a descriptive answer of this question. Madhyamabhashaya Sasandarbham Spashtikururta. Now the second sentence. आधुनिक समाज माध्यमेषु अपि संस्कृतस्य उपयोजनं बहुशः दृश्यते. So here the sentence is given from the lesson Sanskritena Vrittavidya, in which the information about Sanskrit journalism is provided. This is the reference of the sentence. It gives 1 mark. Then we will write the Saralartha or the translation of the sentence, that we find the usage of Sanskrit language in all types of modern social medias in various ways. So this is the translation of the sentence for 1 mark. Now we would write the explanation of the sentence. Now we would start that journalism is the main pillar of democracy because it controls the government, it creates the opinion of the people. Secondly, we would write that Sanskrit is the ancient language of India and it reflects the culture and rich heritage of India. The Indian Constitution accepted Sanskrit language as a modern Indian language, and therefore journalism is well developed in Sanskrit language also. We would find that the print media, in the print media, Sanskrit language entered with the publication of Kashi Vidya Sudhanidhi magazine in 1866. And after that, gradually the number of Sanskrit magazines of all the types increased. We would find the magazines, monthly magazines like Chandamama, attracted the minds of people. The annual magazine like Samarpanam, the monthly magazines like Sambhashan Sandesh are published even today. The daily newspapers like Sudharma and Vishwasya Vrittantaha are published even today, and they are newspapers in Sanskrit. So in the print media, Sanskrit is well developed. Again, Sanskrit news bulletin was broadcasted on radio in 1974. Two Sanskrit news bulletins are broadcasted now every day on radio. On television in 1994, the news bulletin weekly news bulletin started in Sanskrit. Nowadays, Vartavali is the program every week in Sanskrit on the television. Not only that, but Bharatiya Janasanchar Sanstha IIMC started Sanskrit journalism training program, and the youngsters could get training of Sanskrit journalism. So this is how in the first paragraph we would describe the development of Sanskrit journalism. And now we would write about the social medias. Not only in the print media, the audio media, and the audiovisual media, Sanskrit journalism is present, but also in social media, we find the usage of Sanskrit language. So what would you write here? You have to write the examples of presence of Sanskrit language on social medias. Where did you find Sanskrit language on social medias? So you have to write the examples. The examples are not given here in the lesson, but we have to write on our own. For example, I would write that there are groups on social medias like Facebook and WhatsApp where they study Sanskrit Subhashitas. There are some institutions which organize Sanskrit conversation training programs online. There are pages on Instagram and Twitter and other medias where they write about their experience and uh, usage of Sanskrit. Again, there are news published about the political field where Sanskrit is used. Again, there are news like where the political leaders take oath in Sanskrit language. They also honor Sanskrit language in their speeches. These news are there on social medias. Uh, the discussion about the educational policies and Sanskrit are uh, are there on social medias. There are animation films in Sanskrit, and all this we know from social medias. And in this way, on the modern social media, in this world, social media, we find the usage of Sanskrit. So this is how you have to write second paragraph, where actually where do you find Sanskrit in social media. That you have to write according to your experience, your knowledge. It is not given in the lesson. And then at last you would write the explanation is for 2 marks, and now in the end you would write what is the speciality of the sentence. We would write that even today Sanskrit is used in all types of medias, and because of this Sanskrit is becoming popular. Social medias spread Sanskrit worldwide, and in this way we find that Sanskrit is well developed as a modern language. This is how you will write the uh, specialty of the sentence. One more thing you can add in the explanation, that information about various subjects in Sanskrit like Ayurveda, Yoga, and etc. is present on Wikipedia. Information of Sanskrit books, authors is present on Wikipedia, or many Sanskrit books are available in the PDF form on the Google or on the network. So, in this way, we find Sanskrit in modern social media. So this is how you are going to write the answer, and there are 5 marks, so this question is important.